Welcome to Recalling Spirit, the Power Within series. This is the second part of our series, and the title is Faith Over Fear. One of my favorite authors, his name is Bob Proctor, and Bob wrote this: fear and faith demand you believe in something you cannot see. You choose. So let me read it again. Fear and faith demand you believe in something you cannot see. You choose. Ooh, so powerful. So true. Thank you, Mr. Proctor, for that. So let me ask you this question. What state do you generally find yourself in? Do you find yourself in a state of fear, or do you find yourself in a state of faith? And then the second question is this: how do we put faith over fear in our lives? Well, one of the things that I have come to know absolutely just through my own experience in life is, for me, I can always tell if I am in fear or I am in faith. Because I can always tell which one I am resonating with, because it is what I am putting my attention on. So if I am putting my attention on worry and concern, that's what I am putting my faith in. Now there's a difference here, and it's subtle, but there is a difference. The difference between fear and faith is one of a kind. It is something, like Bob said, it is something that we can't see, but we are always choosing. So what you put your faith in is exactly what you are believing in. So if you are putting your faith in, I believe this is not going to work out. That's fear-based, right? It's never going to work out. This person's behavior is not going to change. But if we put our faith in a power for good that is greater than us, and to know, as Ernest Holmes taught, there's a power for good in the universe and we get to use it. If we put our faith in that power for good, guess what happens? In that example that we just gave earlier, that this person is not going to change, if we put our faith in that there's a power for good in the universe and I get to use it, and I believe this person can change, just like me. I can change. I can be a better person. I can be more patient. I can be more kind. I can be more generous with my family and in my relationships. Remember that piece of scripture that we learned about last week that comes from Philippians 4:6? Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer with thanksgiving, make your requests be known unto God. Most of us, I have to say, and I include myself in this, we fear the conditions in our life, and sometimes we have faith that we cannot change these conditions. Ernest Holmes said this: there is no need to fear anything in this life if we believed that God is always present. That God is always present. So is there a strongly held belief in your life that whatever may be happening in your life, financially, emotionally, physically, relationship-wise, is there a strong belief in your life that love and light and that God is always present? Answer that without any inhibition. Answer it quickly and easily. Do you believe that God is ever present in your life, that love and light is ever present in your life, and that power for good that we call God is yours to use? And you get to use it daily, moment to moment, if necessary? The truth about that power for good in our lives. You know, in Scripture, I love always referring to Scripture because it's such a solid baseline for all of us to work from. And that one piece of Scripture, it's in the Old Testament, and it's Moses is talking with God, and I'm paraphrasing here, but it basically says, God says to Moses, indeed, indeed, the place where you stand is holy ground. So walk through the fire, Moses. Walk through the fire. The place where we stand is holy ground. Being anchored in that very truth of our divine identity, that God, that power is always with us, and we get to choose how to use it, that God is ever present. You know, in Hebrews 11:11, which is in the Old Testament, Hebrews is one of my favorite. Well, actually, all Scripture is one of my favorite. But in Hebrews 11:11, it says, and this is a powerful thing for all of us. Now, faith is the assurance of things hoped for the conviction of things not seen. So if you want to heal that relationship, or you are experiencing a physical challenge, a health challenge, what is faith? Faith is the conviction of things not seen. So let's have faith over fear. So what is the conviction that you have about this condition in your life that you would like to change? Do you have the conviction that even though it is not seen with your eyes, or it hasn't been demonstrated in your manifest world yet, do you have the conviction that you have the assurance that all is well, that you can turn that physical condition around, that financial challenge around? You know what assurance really stands for? Assurance is just simply this. It is a feeling of confidence, and it is a feeling of certainty. So just ask yourself right now, as your whole being is vibrating to these words, what is it that you have great certainty and confidence in that will happen in your life? Is it based in fear? Or is it based in faith? Remember what Proctor said. Fear and faith both demand the same thing out of us. It demands that we believe in something that we cannot see. So this week, as we journey through our daily activities, we go to work, we deal with our children, we're retired and we're making major decisions in our lives, what we should do next, whatever it is, look at your life and see what conviction you have about the power and presence of God that is right there where you are. And are you willing to choose faith over fear? We can always tell where our faith is by exactly where we put our belief. Do we have faith then that things will work out? Or do we have faith, which is fear-based now in this faith, that things will never work out? Only you can ask yourself, only you can know for yourself which you have the conviction of. So I'm going to close today and ask you this. I'm going to read out of the book of Psalms, and this is what I'm going to ask you to do throughout the exercise of this week to see how you are applying faith over fear in your life. In the book of Psalms, which is in the Old Testament, it says simply this: be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. And I'm going to add a 21st century version of that. Be still and know that I am God, and I am willing to help you. All that you need to do is turn within, be still, and listen to that voice within, and I will supply you with all that you need. Everything: good health, abundance, love, relationships. Just be still and know that I am God. I give thanks that this is so, and I know that it is, and so it was. Amen. Thank you for joining us this week for the message of love and light. We are grateful for our members and everyone who made it possible to spread our message of hope and possibility to the world. If you found meaning, joy, purpose, comfort, or direction from our videos, I invite you to share the word with your family and friends. Join our growing community and help us spread the love of light even farther. You can start by saying, as they say, hitting the like button and smashing subscribe. Also, please visit us at recallingspiritministries.org to learn more about us and to participate in our weekly prayers of affirmation.